Hello and welcome everyone. Big news on the Dutch cruiser front today, as 4 of these ships have come out of NDA and are in their finished final state. The Celebes, the Kijkduin, the Eendracht and the Haarlem. And news about the Zeven Provinciën, it has now been officially announced that the Zeven Provinciën will be the dockyard reward ship in update 0.10.7. So let's first look at the Celebes. You will see a test ship status, but this ship is now in its finished final state. So let's quickly look at its armor. 13mm. It is tier 5, of course. Main belt armor of 75. Upper auxiliary room armor 16mm. Main deck 16mm. 10mm plating on the superstructure, and 13mm the aft end deck. Is an additional strip here of 50mm, which does mean she does get some additional protection while kiting. She gets 26,600 hit points and a 16% torpedo protection damage reduction. She does get additional hydroacoustic search, 3 kilometers for torpedoes, and she does get access to both the fighter and the spotting aircraft. Let's look at her artillery. 4 twin-mounted 150mm turrets, 8-second reload, both 2 fore and 2 aft, HE damage 2150, 12% fire chance, and 25mm of penetration, while the AP can inflict a max damage of 3000 and a 14km firing range. AA defense, 2 twin-mounted 25mm Bofors guns, 8 twin-mounted 40mm Bofors. That equates to a continuous average damage 180. Vast majority of this is medium range to 3.5 kilometers. Vast majority 186 compared to 21 in short range zone. No flak explosions, and a max firing range of 3.5 kilometers. Maneuverability. Let's quickly check that I've got no flags on. So the base speed is 30.6, 580 meter turning circle radius, rudder shift time of 7.7. We can boost that to 32.1 knots with the Sierra mic. Concealment 10.7, detectability range from aircraft 4.6. But this is the tier 5 Celebes. I'm just using grease the gears, priority target, adrenaline rush, and concealment expert. These would be your first 4 skills for 10 points. So let's move on to the Kijkduin. This is where the line starts to get interesting with the addition of the Airstrike. Let's quickly look at the modules. In armaments, damage con, accuracy and steering gears. See here the HE bomb airstrike consumable. Again, just like the Celebes, it gets damage con, hydroacoustic search, and a choice between the fighter and spotter aircraft. So let's have a quick look at the ship's armor. The Tier 6 Kijkduin, 16mm upper and lower plating. Let's get that out of the way. The complete fore and upper end is 16mm. Aft end gets additional protection. It's raised up to 20mm, and a nice 60mm aft end armor belt here. Additional 75mm strip. The main belt armor is in multiple sections, 50mm, 75. Again, two sections here. This thin strip is 75 and this upper casemate is 50. An additional strip of 16mm here between the casemate and the main deck, which is 25mm, and 10mm of superstructure. The turrets, frontal plate 100mm, 50mm side plating, and top plating, and the same goes for the rear plating. Survivability, 32,000 hit points, 19% torpedo protection damage reduction. This is quite good, especially combined with hydroacoustic search. So the Kijkduin is the first ship in the line that gets access to the HE bomb airstrike. One flight per attack, 6 aircraft per attack, each capable of dropping 6 bombs. Each bomb can inflict a max damage of 5100, can penetrate 32mm of armor, and a 29% chance of setting the target on fire. 10 kilometers in range and a reload time of 80 seconds. So that is the Airstrike. Look at the main artillery. Again, just like the Celebes, 4 twin mounted turrets, 152mm, 2 fore, 2 aft, 8.5 second reload time, max firing range of 14.6, 124 meter dispersion. HE rounds can inflict 2200 damage, 12% fire chance, and these HE rounds can penetrate 25mm of armor, while the AP rounds can inflict 3000. They both have the same shell speed of 900 meters per second. AA defense, 14 twin mounted 40mm Bofor guns. They pump out continuous average damage, is quite decent, 384. Again, no flak explosions, and a max firing range of 3.5. Maneuverability, 33 knots of speed, 720 meters turning circle, rudder shift time of 7.2 seconds. At max speed can be boosted to 34.7 with Sierra Mike. Concealment, 10.4 kilometers and 5.4 kilometers by aircraft. Again, build very similar to the Celebes. See here. So let's move to the Tier 7 Eendracht. Again, we'll quickly look at her armor layout. (16mm) lower and upper fore end deck and plating. Again, the aft end gets 20mm, similar to the Kijkduin, increased protection here at the rear. Aft end armor belt 60mm, strip of 75. Different sections ranging from 75mm to 50. Thin strip of casemate, 20mm deck. But this section, this raised section of the deck, is 25mm. And again, the superstructure gets 10mm of plating. Let's look at the main gun turrets. Frontal plate of 100mm, 50mm side plating, top plating, and the rear plating. Very similar to the Kijkduin. Survivability 35,750. Torpedo protection damage reduction of 19%. Again, like the Kijkduin, the Eendracht gets the Airstrike consumable, 1 attacking flight, 8 aircraft per flight, each capable of dropping 6 bombs, 48 bombs in total, max bomb damage of 5800, capable of penetrating 34mm, with a 33% chance of setting the target on fire. Again, a max firing range of 10 kilometers and a reload time of 80 seconds. It's the Airstrike. Let's look at the main artillery. 2 twin-mounted 152mm and 2 triple-mounted, equally divided, 1 of each, both fore and aft. 8.5 seconds in reload time, max firing range of 14.8 kilometers, max dispersion of 125 meters. HE shells can inflict 2200 damage, can penetrate 25mm of armor, and have a 12% chance of setting the target on fire. And again, the AP damage is 3000, the max damage. Again, exactly the same as the previous. Both shell types have a shell speed of 900 meters per second. AA defense, 17 twin-mounted 40mm Bofors, continuous average damage of 586. Again, no flak explosions and a max firing range of 3.5 kilometers. Maneuverability, 33 knots of speed, 720 meter turning circle radius, and a rudder shift time of 7.2 seconds. That speed can be increased to 34.7. Just like the previous tiers, access to damage control party, hydroacoustic search, and the option between spotting aircraft and the fighter. Finally, ship's concealment, 10.4 kilometers, surface detection range, and by aircraft at 5.4. Let's look at the captain I'm using. I have changed it slightly here. I've gone with fire technician. playing around with the AA a little bit. Let's look at the Tier 8 Haarlem. Again, we'll start with the armor layout. Being at Tier 8, you're going to require more armor protection, fore-end plating upper and lower of 25, but there is a nice strip of icebreaker bow armor here of 40mm. Again, 25mm of aft end plating, both on the deck and here. Lower aft end armor belt of 50mm. Quickly take off the torpedo protection, which is an additional 27mm. 200mm of casemate armor, an upper armor belt of 40mm, while the main deck gets 30mm. 16mm of superstructure plating. The turrets, 150mm of frontal plating, 90mm of side plating. The top is in multiple sections sloped, 105, 90, 70mm on the top. At the rear, 80, and the actual rear plating is 90mm. At Tier 8 it does change slightly. Damage control parity, again hydroacoustic search, defensive fire, and the repair parity at Tier 8. This is the build I'm using. I am currently testing a full AA build. Seems quite efficient. Survivability, 40,100 hit points, 19% torpedo protection damage reduction. Again, the Airstrike consumable. The Haarlem gets 2 attacking flights, each with 10 aircraft per flight, each capable of dropping 6 bombs, 60 bombs in total per attack flight, capable of inflicting a max damage of 5800, penning 34mm of armor with a 33% fire chance, and the range is increased to 12 kilometers. Main artillery, there is a change in the main gun caliber. For the first time, the Dutch cruisers get 203mm guns in 3 triple mounted turrets, 2 super firing here at the front, 1 on the stern, the reload time of 15 seconds, max firing range of 15.6, HE damage 2850 with a 14% fire chance and capable of penetrating 34mm of armor. Shell speed is also increased for both the HE and armor piercing rounds, and the AP rounds can inflict a max damage of 4800. Just get additional secondary armament. The range here is actually quite nice, 6.9 kilometers. Firing every 3 seconds. HE damage 1700, 8% fire chance, and capable of penetrating 20mm of armor. These are 120mm twin mounted secondary guns, 2 on each side. Tier 8 is for the first time where the AA seems to pack a punch. 14 twin mounted 20mm, 10 twin mounted 40mm, and again the secondary guns, they double up as AA, the 120mm. Combined they pump out a continuous average of 312. It's more or less spread equally between short, medium and long range damage. 6 shell explosions capable of inflicting a max damage of 1848, and a very nice max firing range of 6 kilometers. Maneuverability 32.5 knots, 730 meter turning circle radius, 8.9 second rudder shift time. Concealment is 9.8 kilometers by surface ships and 7.3 kilometers by enemy aircraft. This is the Tier 8 Haarlem. I will be posting gameplay footage from all these ships in the coming days, so stay tuned. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.